I like rain day today. It's raining all day today, so I thought today's a good day. I probably should work on my jigs. And I know I mentioned something about my jigs before, so gotta flip this around. As you saw yesterday, I got my jig bucket that I gotta go through and clean. I showed you my oh goodness, Ugh. I showed you my tackle box lunchbox that I take to the dock, but I wanted to show you, this is like where I put all my tackle, my supplies. My daughter-in-law gave me this, it's a makeup case a few years ago, and it was meant to put crafts in, because when I go visit my grandkids, we do crafts, and but it never, I have more crafts than will fit in here. So I realized it is like the perfect place to store my stuff. I got my line, crappie nibbles, and then up top here, oh, and I started this really cool sticker collection. So now when I go places, I've been doing that, and so that's kind of fun. I got some good ones, yeah. So in here, if you open it up, coolest thing. So this just, it opens up kind of like a tackle box, only it's girly. It's velvet coated and kind of pretty. It's got my hooks, got my jigs, got oh goodness, looks like looks like I stashed have some more. Ugh. Okay, so what I got in here is my setup to do my jigs. So what I'm gonna do is grab probably some black ones. They're 16th ounce. And I don't know, where's the pink ones? I know there's pink ones in here. I do black and I do pink. So yeah, probably do a lot of silk ones, especially in the summer, because you know, if I use smaller hooks, I do like the smaller hooks. I will use them, and they work just as good. But in the summer, the bluegills can swallow these, and they can't swallow the bigger hooks. And I don't know about you, but I get tired of trying to get my finger down the gullet of a bluegill to try to get the hook out. So that kind of saves me a little of that in the summer. So I guess what I'm going to do first of all is just go through and strip these and just see what is worth salvaging here and what's not. I'm not too terribly particular about the paint chips, because I don't think they're that picky, because I've got some I use that don't have paint at all. So it doesn't really seem to bother them. So I'm going to test just to see how bent these hooks are, because some of them I've straightened, and yeah, peel the old plastics off and see if some of them I can actually, some are just split, but I don't know if you can see that, but there's some rough looking little, they've done some war, they've done some battle. But you'll notice I got a trick to this, and I know a lot of you glue them, but I got a super duper good trick that you can tell these things have just been beat up and they're still hanging on. So I'm going to pause this, probably strip these off, and then get to the next part. Okay, mid-time break. So I'm starting to, I don't know if you can see all this. So this is my pile of cast-offs. Some of these you can see, I don't know if you can see, they're really chewed up. You know, I got some of these black-headed ones with the, usually used in the summer, but honestly, I don't like these. And then I've got this collection of the ones that the bluegills get the tails off of, which annoys me to no end, because sometimes you put on a new jig and they bite the tails off. So I'm just going through and cutting off the I usually leave the line in the eyes, so it's just a clue to me that they have to be cleaned up. I don't know if you can see this one. Some of these, I've tried to glue them back together, but it makes them hard, and there's only so much you can try to salvage with being too cheap. Boy, that one's pretty bent, if you can see that. Obviously, I must have got hung up a couple times, bent it back to shape. I do have a collection of those going, so set those aside, kind of the ones that I know they're open a little bit, they're a little out of shape, so I'll bend them in. Another thing I do when I check them all, I just check to make sure that that hook is still sharp. These jigs, I'd hate to think how many fish I've caught off a single jig before replacing. And as you can see, I don't hardly ever lose a jig. I don't get hung up very often. And that's one thing I'm stubborn about is if I get hung up, I'm super patient, super gentle. I don't lose my temper, and I take my time, and it's kind of fun. It's like another problem to solve. So I don't. The reason I lose a lot of my line, I will get hung up, but it just gets shorter and shorter and shorter because these jigs end up just being beat up rather than losing them. So I have to cut off some line and retie them. Good example. There's that crazy. So I'm going to keep going at it. I do have some mixed in here. This is barbecue chicken. This works like in July and August. This little difference, I've had some pretty good hits on this one. That's probably why I took it off, changed it out. He's a little bent, so I'm going to bend him back in a little bit, and he'll be good. I don't know. I think this is Blue Lake or Blue. It's not Blue Eyes. Green Lake. I don't know, but I regret buying it because I haven't had much luck out of them. So that's why these are still decent, but they're life's too short to be using the wrong color in a jig that doesn't work. As I'm repurposing things like this, yeah, talking out both sides of my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'll be back. Bye. Okay, I got everything cleaned off. This is one big nasty mess. I was going to show you another one in here. I was going to comment on, can't remember what it is. So I'm going to throw it in my bucket. I think there was a festive drink from Marty Bird's in this bucket that me and my sister shared from the strip, one of the few times I've been to the strip. So this is my spare jig bucket and garbage bucket. So I'm just gonna do some electric chickens, get ready for the summer, do them on the pink jig heads. And I have bought off-brand jigs with a slightly different color, and they made a difference. So I like the Bobby Garland. He's probably not gonna be too happy with this video when I show you how to get more life out of him. That's okay. So I'm going to start with this and dental floss. I get waxed dental floss, not flavored. And I'm going to be totally honest that I learned this off YouTube from Richard G. and the Fishing Machine. He does do something slightly different, but I've been doing this, and I think it works really good. So apparently, I don't think this was probably one of those jigs that a stupid little bluegill bit off the jig when it was new, because this one still has good paint on it. So what I usually do is I'll take this and put it along the shank of the hook, about down to where you would expect the jig to end. And I'll just start wrapping it, and I'll wrap it. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have close up on my phone, so. And I'll wrap it right up to the head and back. pull it tight. And I think that wax kind of keeps it in place. Pull it real tight and then get it back up to about the middle and just snip it. And then I'll set it aside. I might as well do a black one too. So same thing. So I'll just sit here on a rainy day when I'm not fishing, and I'll wrap that just to get it spun around. Oh, went too fast. Just to get a rib going around. You can see that. And I don't have a close up, but hopefully you get the picture. And the snippet. And then I usually set them aside. And then what I'll do is I'll just take one of the jigs. And, you know, the funny thing, I went back and forth on, oh, which way is it? Like this? You know, like this is his chubby belly. And then I'm like, well, no, maybe it's like this way. I had this debate in my head for quite a while. I tried it both ways. Didn't matter. But I'll do the pink on top. So you guys have done this. So I'll just run it through just as best as I can. Support it on each side of the jig, and as I pause it, it's probably gonna mess up. And then comes out the bottom. You know, and you never get these perfect. You just don't. Well, some of you probably do. And then I'll push it up all the way, but I'm not gonna leave it there. So I usually do a whole bunch of these, and I'll just leave them kind of half like this, and I'll set them on my paper. And then what I do is I come back, and I have this. I don't know what this glue is. It's super glue, but it's like gel. And I bought it a few years ago, probably in the dollar store in a 3-pack. Didn't hardly pay anything for it. It's lasted me a long time. It's super glue, but it's kind of like a gel. So then what I do, you're just going to have to kind of, I don't know, kind of figure out. I know my camera's not real good, so I'll just put a dot closer to the middle. Isn't that great? Oh, I just dropped it on my tablecloth. Oh, that's not good. I don't know if you can see it. And then I'll take this jig and I'll just kind of work it to move that glue into the creases of that dental floss. And I'll push it up all the way to the head. Boop. And he's kind of crooked. I'll straighten him out a bit. Usually I have a paper towel here, but and he's crooked. He's not perfect, which is a bummer because this part will probably break out early, but I'd be more focused if I was just focusing on this and not the camera. So yeah, just make sure they're real straight, and then I line them up and just let them dry. And they will stay on until the fish chew them off. It works really good. And again, I got the dental floss idea from watching a video from Richard G. and the Fishing Machine. Just want to be above board. I do it a little different, a little twist on it, but it was his idea, and it works really good. So I'm going to go through all. Yeah, you probably can't see it. I got a lot of. Oh, I flip this. I got my work ahead of me here. So I got my electric chicken. I'll probably do some more monkey milk. I haven't found the right chartreuse ones that I really like. There's a certain kind that something's got to be secret, right? Can't tell you everything. But hopefully, maybe one of you all, if you do tube jigs, if you do custom tube jigs, hit me up, because there's a certain color combination that I haven't been able to find in a couple years. I can't seem to get, and I used to use it a lot. So if you do custom tube jigs, message me. I'd be interested. So I think that's it. That's my secret. And those things you'll be surprised how those plastics hold up. And Anyway, hope to get back to the lake, back fishing real soon. We could use the rain. So enjoying the dogwoods. It's that time of year. So again, I hope you guys have a great day. Happy fishing. Tight lines. I need a tag light. I don't know what it is. I'll have to work on that. All right, bye.